Hey crafty friends, it's Lisa, your DIY diva. Are you looking for a few new crafts to add to your Christmas decorations this year? Well, you're in luck because today I've got a bunch of brand new gingerbread crafts for you. So let's get started. So I got this sign a while back at Dollar Tree, and these are actually really pretty, but I'm not going to be using it as a home sign. I want to use this for making a gingerbread sign. And to make this even easier, I'm not going to remove anything from the front of the sign. I'm actually going to be using the back. So I've got a couple of different green acrylic paints that I'm going to blend together and paint the back of the sign. And I like the variation of the color, so I'm going to build the different paint colors on top of each other. This will give the sign a little bit more texture and a little bit more depth. And once the green paint had dried, I came back with a little bit of burnt umber and I added that to the original paint. So what I'm going to do now is just paint this down on top of the sign itself. So I'm going to get different colors, different shades of the burnt umber as well as the green that's still in the container. And I think you can see I'm just going from top to bottom and I'm keeping all of the strokes very similar. Next, I'm going to come back with some B7000 and I'm just going to attach a washer to the center open portion of this tag. And it's been my experience that using B7000 will help this washer be permanently adhered to the sign. Next, I'm going to come back with a cookie cutter, and this was an ornament, but it was the shape and the size that I wanted it to be for the sign. So I'm going to use my nipping tool and I'm just going to remove the hanger from the cookie cutter. And I thought this would look best if there was a different color underneath the cookie cutter. So I really like this striped pattern. It kind of looks like candy canes and it will stand out really nice against that green background. So all I'm going to do is trace the cookie cutter pattern onto the paper. Then I just came back with a pair of scissors and cut the gingerbread man out. And now I'm just going to test and see how my paper cutting stacks up next to the cookie cutter. And that's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I secured the paper to the sign. Then I came back with some more B7000. And again, I traced the outline of the gingerbread man. This time I was a little bit more careful because I'm going to secure the cookie cutter onto the sign as well. But I want to make sure that it's matched up perfectly with the piece of paper. I did come back with just a little bit of hot glue because of the instant stick that it gives, and that will help keep everything in place while the other adhesive has time to dry slowly. Now, while I was working on this, I thought it would look really nice if the sign looked like it had wood planks in it. So I came back with the paint stir stick and I used a black acrylic paint marker to mark lines on the sign, almost as if it were smaller pieces of wood that had been put together. And by using the paint stir stick, it helps me to keep the lines pretty straight. I don't think it has to be perfectly straight, but this way I can take the acrylic marker and just go back and forth a little bit to really make sure you can see some of the detail of the lines. Now, while I do like how this is looking, I do want to add a little bit of highlight. So I'm going to come back with some Dixie Belle chalk paint and I'm just going to lightly brush that all over my sign. If I were thinking about this when I first started, I probably would have done all of this background work to the tag before I secured the cookie cutter right in the center. But that's not the way my brain works sometimes when I'm crafting. But if you're going to be doing this project, I would recommend doing all of the background work for the tag before you secure the cookie cutter to your sign. And I really like to add a little bit of that highlighting all the way around the edges of the sign as well. Now, once that was dry, I thought it would be fun to come back and add some cinnamon. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of Mod Podge randomly, not over the entire sign. And then I'm going to come back with some cinnamon and just sprinkle it over top. then all I have to do is flick the sign a little bit, then all of the extra cinnamon will just fall away. Now for this part of the project, I'm actually using letters that I cut out with my laser cutter. But if you don't have a laser cutting tool, you could use vinyl, you could use stickers, or you could even just write out on the sign whatever you wanted to say. But I wanted mine to say Bake Daily, that's what's on top, and then Gingerbread Baking Company is gonna go on the bottom. I painted all of the letters white, and then once they were dry, that was when I placed them onto the sign. And this is one of the many reasons why I like to use the laser cutter, because I can cut out individual letters, any font that I want it to be. Then I can lay them out onto my project to make sure I'm happy with my placement of my letters. Then I can move them around before I make a commitment. And then I just come back with some adhesive like B7000 and secure each of the letters in place. And I really like how I've got the lettering on this sign. Next, I'm going to come back with a few different colors and styles of ribbon, and I'm going to secure that to the top of the sign. I did also use hot glue on the tails so that they're lifted up and they're not going to hang over my lettering. Then I came back with a little bit of greenery, so these are just some pine pieces, and I secured those to the top of the sign. And I also tucked some of the pine pieces behind the ribbon. And as I'm sitting here watching myself do this project, I'm so happy that I decided to finally do this. I have had this craft in my head for quite some time now, and I am so happy with how it turned out. I think it looks great. This was actually a relatively easy project to do, and because of the M1 Ultra by X tool, it made this project a lot easier and a lot of fun to do. Now I want to show you how you can make fake gingerbread cookies. And I found these molds on Etsy. I will leave a link in the description box. They weren't cheap and they're actually cookie molds, but these are so wonderful to use with projects like this. And I know I didn't show you this part, but I'm actually using a ceramic resin. That's what's making the actual shapes that I'm removing from the molds. It is a wonderful product to use. It's super easy and it dries really quick. Within a half an hour after making these projects, I was able to unmold them and paint them. And I decided to make some faux or fake gingerbread cookies because I love having cookies and things like this for decorating. Cookies don't last forever, and I want to be able to use these cookies in upcoming projects and for years to come. So having something like this to me is a lot better and easier than if I were to have to bake and use these cookies for my decorating. And the ceramic resin, like I said, it dries really quick, but it's also really easy to work with. A lot easier to work with than real resin. I've done resin projects and they were a little more difficult, and the resin is not nearly as forgiving as this ceramic resin is. And I'm even able to use my tiny micro sander to sand away any imperfections before painting. Now, once I was happy with my fake cookies, then I came back with some different acrylic paints that I had mixed to make it more of a gingerbread color, and I just painted each of the ceramic cookies. Now, it did take 2 coats of the paint to completely cover each of these cookies and make them look like gingerbread. But what I really liked best about the silicone molds is you can see all of the details. You don't find details like that in cookie cutters. So having a silicone mold is actually really helpful, and you get really high-end results, and you can repeat the process over and over again. And once the paint had dried, then I came back with a little bit of Dixie Belle white chalk paint, and I lightly brushed that across all of the cookies. I'm doing this because I want to see all of that detail, and by just having a little bit of paint on my brush, I can pick up all of those details without having to use the puffy paint in order to get the patterns to show up on the cookies. I'm kind of curious if I were to do the same type of process with real cookies and use a little bit of icing or powdered sugar, if I could get the same result. That is something that I may have to try out in the future, especially since it is Christmas time. Why not give it a try? And once the white paint had dried, I came back with Mod Podge and I just painted that all over each of my fake cookies. Next, I came back with some glitter and I sprinkled the glitter on top. Now the glitter I'm using, it was more of an iridescent color, and I think I put a little too much glitter on the cookies. And once the Mod Podge had dried, the cookies looked a little too white, so I decided to come back and repaint them again in a similar gingerbread color because I wasn't really happy with how the glitter looked on the cookies. So once my acrylic paint was dry, I came back again with some more of the Dixie Belle paint and basically redid the process. This time I did use a larger chip brush, which I think worked out even better. And I decided not to do the glitter on these. And actually, I think they look better without the glitter than with. I think this natural look is much better. So I did decide I wanted to have some other types of gingerbread cookies, and I found this at the at-home store, and when I saw it, I saw gingerbread cookies. So I cut off each individual leaf, which gave me 6 cookies. And then I thought it would look kind of pretty to put a few red berries on the end. And I had all of these red berries on stems, so I just cut out the individual berries, and then I hot glued them to the ends of each of the leaves. Next, I came back with these ornaments that I found at Hobby Lobby, and they are so pretty. The larger ones actually look like sandwich cookies. They are so cute. And because of the 50% off sale, they were $3.50 a piece. So all I had to do was remove the hanger. But when I removed the first hanger, I got a little too aggressive and I actually broke off a piece of the ornament. So on the second cookie, I was very careful and went very slowly to remove the hanger. But because I did damage the first one, I kept the pieces of the first cookie that I took that big chunk out of, and I just used some hot glue to glue those pieces back in place. And it may not be perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Now for these ornaments, they were $2 a piece. And I really like them, but I don't like the red spots. I want the icing to be all white, like the other gingerbread snowflakes that I have. So after I removed the tags, I carefully removed the hangers from each of these ornaments. And this material was a lot more forgiving, so the hangers were a lot easier to remove. And because I want these to look like the other gingerbread cookies, I came back with some white puffy paint, and anywhere where there were the red points, I just covered those up with the white puffy paint. And this paint actually came from Dollar Tree. And I just worked my way around each of the ornaments, covering up each of those red dots, and I saved the large red dot in the middle to the very end. Now I found this snowman at Walmart. This was so cute and I really liked it. I didn't have a gingerbread cookie like this one. And once I removed the hanger, it did have a hole in the hat of the snowman. So I used that same puffy paint just to brighten up some of the frosting that was already on the snowman. And then I filled in that hole where the hanger was with the puffy paint. Now it really looks like a gingerbread snowman and not so much like an ornament. Now I found these gingerbread snowflakes on Amazon. And yes, I could make my own snowflakes with the snowflake cookie cutters that I have, but I thought this would be a lot easier and it gives me a lot more cookies for my tray. So all I had to do was remove the hangers, and that was really easy to do because these gingerbread stars have a very plastic material. That's what's making them up. So all I had to do was cut off the hanger. And I found this star charger at Dollar Tree, and I thought this would be perfect to put all of my gingerbread cookies on. But I wanted it to look like it was gingerbread as well. So I came back with that gingerbread acrylic paint mixture that I had made, and I painted the bottom as well as the top of the star. And the acrylic paint mixture that I have, I did mix in a little bit of a texture medium, so that gives it a little bit more body, which works a lot better when you're painting the plastic chargers from Dollar Tree. But I did want to see a little bit of that gold show through, so I wasn't too worried if it was completely covered. But adding in that texture medium, I was able to do a little bit of bouncing with my paintbrush and get a really neat pattern on the tray. And I also made a little table or like a little riser that looked like gingerbread as well. And once that paint had dried, I used some B7000 to secure those two pieces together. And now I have a little gingerbread riser. This is so cute. Now once my star had dried, then I did take it outside and put a coat of shiny Mod Podge on it. And once that dried, now all I have to do is arrange all of my fake gingerbread cookies. And I don't know about you, but to me, these really look like they're gingerbread cookies. I'm not going to set these out at Christmas time with my grandbabies because I don't want them to inadvertently try to eat one of my fake cookies. But I think these turned out so nice. And these cookies are something that I will have and I can use year after year. Again, if you have small children around, I probably wouldn't put these out. But if you're just using this for a display, for something in your decor, I think this would be a really fun addition. And all of the cookies on here, they were so easy to do. And I can't believe it, but we have reached the end of the video. That was so much fun. I loved sharing these projects with you. I love adding gingerbread decor, gingerbread DIYs. They're so much fun to make, and actually most of them are pretty easy to make too. I hope that you loved crafting with me today. And I think I showed you in this video, every project that I make, it isn't perfect. And sometimes you have to go back and start over. But that's okay, because with each project that you create, you get better and better, one DIY at a time. Now, if these gingerbread crafts inspired you, be sure to hit that subscribe button because I post new budget-friendly projects each and every week. And I don't want you to miss out on any of the fun. Remember, crafting isn't about the money that you spend. It's about the love and creativity that you put into each and every project that you create. Until next time, stay crafty and keep creating.